Let's do this, multiplying and dividing rational expressions. So some throwback problems here. When you multiply fractions, you just multiply across the top. You're going to get 4x y to the 4th power over 8x cubed y. And then, of course, you just need to simplify. So 4 over 8 can be reduced to 1/2. We have more x's on the bottom by 2. We have more y's on the top by 3. And we're good. Nothing else to do for that guy. Now, just for fun, first thing we're going to do for this is remember the old school rule. When you divide fractions, it's actually multiplying by the reciprocal. So we're going to change that to times 9/6. And just for fun, I'm going to show you that you don't even have to reduce this way. You can reduce the top with the right and the bottom left. So 9 over 27 can actually be reduced to 1/3. And 24 over 6 can actually be reduced to 4 over 1. And then, of course, you can multiply that way and you just get 4/3. Now, that's just a silly little way to do that particular example. But in a little bit, you'll realize how that could be pretty helpful. So, like I said, those are throwback problems. Let's put it together with some of the real stuff that we're doing in this chapter. So when you multiply rational expressions, the first thing, as always, you're going to have to factor. So this x squared minus 49 can be an x plus 7 and an x minus 7. Over. And this guy right here can be turned into an x plus 7 and an x minus 1. Times. And this top right over here, we can factor out a 6x, and you're left with x minus 3. And then on the bottom, we just have a x minus 3. If we factor out a -1, we can rearrange that to x minus 3. So, from here, you just cancel. Whatever can be canceled. So we have a x plus 7 and an x plus 7, and we have an x minus 3 and an x minus 3. So those two are simplified as far as they can go. We have this x minus 7 times 6x on top. So that's going to give us a 6x times x minus 7 on the top. And then your bottom is just your negative times an x minus 1. And you are good to go. That's it. Now division. We're going to have to factor again. So this is going to be an x plus 8 and an x minus 4. Down at the bottom, we are going to have our x plus 2, our x squared, minus 2x, plus 4, times. Now we're going to factor the bottom, but we're going to write it on the top. This is an x plus 2 and an x plus 3. And we're going to factor the top, put it on the bottom. It's an x minus 4 and an x plus 3. And again, you can factor anything on the top, or cancel out anything on the top with anything on the bottom. So this is going to cancel that guy, and this is going to cancel with that, and this x plus 2 is going to cancel with that, and you're done. Nothing else that you can cancel. So you're left with x plus 8 over x squared minus 2x plus 4. That pretty much wraps up this lesson. So, of course, we have one fun problem for you. This has got multiplication and division. Pause the video, factor every possible thing that can be factored, and simplify when you can. Talk to you in a minute. So this is what you should have after you factor. And I wanted to give you the opportunity to see what you're supposed to have first. This you just factor out an 8x. This is just the difference of two squares. This is just going to be what multiplies to a -2 but adds to 1, which is obviously a -1 and a -1. And this is a difference of two squares within another difference of two squares, because this is going to be an x squared minus y squared. This just goes to the bottom, and this you can factor out a 15xy cubed and moves to the top. So from here you factor what can, or cancel what can be canceled. So we have an x minus y right here and an x minus y right there. We have an x minus y right here and an x minus y over here. We have an x plus y over here and an x plus y over here. And we have an x squared plus y squared here and an x squared plus y squared here. And then you look around a little bit and you see that there really isn't too much that you have left. But there still is more canceling to do. Because if we write what we have left, we have an 8x times a 15x y cubed all over. We have a 24x squared y times an x plus y. So let's look at some of our individual letters now from an earlier chapter that we have. We have an x and an x, which is x squared on top and x squared on the bottom. So that guy's going to go bye-bye. So those guys, cancel that guy out. And we have an 8, a 15, and a 24. So if we were to simplify all of that, 8 times 15 divided by 24 is 5. And the only thing you have left is a y cubed on top and a y on the bottom. So we can take one of those y's away and make that a y squared on top. And you have 5y squared over your x plus y. And this is your final answer from that huge crazy mess. As you can see, factoring is essential, and so is just being very careful with what you're canceling. That's it. I'm Longo, and I am out. See you. Bye.